Hi, this is David with the Discount Dragon again, and today we're going to be starting a series of 2 or 3 videos about how to make a really easy, simple wallet for no money at all. Well, almost no money at all. There'll be some minimal investment. Alright, so I've been making my own wallets for a long time, and they usually last a few years, and I make another one. And I start with some sort of second-hand leather garment from the thrift store. And of course, you're going to want to get this as cheaply as humanly possible to make the whole thing have a point. So this is what's left over of a leather skirt that I picked up at the thrift store. As you can see, it was about that long. It was $1 because Goodwill has a $1 day sale. Get whatever tags are on sale for $1, and you can get your stuff for almost nothing. So this is the second wallet I've made out of this. Plus, my girl has been using the leather for other projects. So the wallet, such as it is, ended up costing me less than 50 cents. Plus, I've got more leather for other purposes. So the cost of it can be almost nothing. I more typically will use leather jackets, which you can pick up for almost nothing if you hit the right sale at the right time at the thrift store. So, I'm going to be showing you how to make a leather wallet, and let me get the one I'm currently using out to show you. This is the one I'm using right now, also made from this skirt. It's got a clasp on it, which I really like, and this clasp came from the skirt itself. So it's got a little clasp like that. I just incorporated that. And you flip this open. You got a pocket for whatever. Flip this open. And one of the reasons that I was making my own wallets is I like to add extra stuff in there. Like, I'm always wanting a pen. So in the center of the wallet, I always put a pen. This here is a space pen that writes upside down and so forth. Another thing I wanted to incorporate was a small emergency sewing kit, which is right here. Just has a needle, some thread on a little cardboard spindle, and an X-Acto knife. So you aren't going to find these features in your average wallet. Another pocket on this side, close it up.
I'm just laughing because you'll notice the absence of actual money in David's wallet.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Plus, the way this works, I kind of like the little flappy sound it makes when it closes, for no good reason. So this is the finished product. Now this one, as you can see, it's worn through to where the credit cards and other stuff in here is poking out the corners. So this one, I mean, really, I could get away with using it longer, but it's served its useful lifespan. So, in order to make this, you don't need any sort of stitching or advanced techniques. This is all done just with scissors and glue, and it works really well. So you're going to be making 2 pieces, and here's more leftovers we're not going to be using today. So, I mean, there's lots and lots of leftovers. So we're making 2 pieces that are made more or less from this sort of a template. Now with this part here is going to be folded over like that. And then these tabs get folded in like that. This goes in like that. And you end up with the pocket. And then you do the same thing on this side. Fold and glue this tab. Fold these tabs over. Just put a crease in them. Put glue in the back of here. Then you fold this tab over to glue down to those tabs. And you have another pocket. So you make this, which is this piece. I did this ahead of time. Now the inner piece and the outer piece need to be a little different, because when you fold it up, it's like a sandwich. The inside one needs to be a little bit shorter so it doesn't protrude out from the exterior one. So this is going to be glued onto the interior piece there once it's finished to make a double layer sort of wallet. So this here is the template before it's being used. I mean the piece before it's being used. And here you see I've put some glue down. This is jewel it, which is good for adhering all kinds of stuff. I put a little in advance and let it dry so that it has a better hold. Because with porous products, sometimes the glue will soak in rather than do what you're wanting it to, so it's good to give it a little bit of a head start. So, just as an example, I'm going to show putting down a little more of this glue. And we just fold it over like that. Now, the leather I'm using here is not the world's best leather for this project, but sometimes you don't end up with the best leather. And that is why on this one I ended up putting a few little leather accents that also serve as reinforcements on the back. If you get a leather jacket with the right weight of leather, that's not as necessary, but this of course allows for lots of different sorts of customization. So we're folding in these side tabs to help make the pocket. Just pressing it down a bit. Get some glue on here. And the other side tab. Well, now once this is glued, you can kind of pull it to see if it's glued enough. And if it's not, you just pull it apart a little bit and apply a little extra glue. So let's take this, and one of the things you want to watch out for is getting glue where it doesn't belong. It doesn't hurt anything structurally, but it does make it look a little untidy, which is more of an aesthetic thing. So we've got that side glued up, and now we'll go back to this other side and do it as well. Apply a little more glue because it's getting a little dry. The Jewel-It is an amazingly good glue, and I recommend it for all kinds of stuff.
I have a question, David.
Yeah.
I noticed that your template over here is on graph paper.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that if people are interested, you could tell them how many squares you used for your template?
I could, but I didn't get the template exactly right.
An estimate.
But yeah, I actually will be putting up a photograph of this as well as the other pieces, so you can just look at the photograph and kind of get a feel for it. Now, the template I'm using, even though I did modify it, but this general style is designed so that you can fit a whole lot of stuff in your wallet, because I tend to carry a lot more than I need in my wallet.
David carries the world in his wallet.
And actually, this pocket here, it's a little on the shorter side from the last one. Not a big deal. But also, another thing you can do that's kind of fun is do glued on embellishments once you're finished. And since this is a demo project, I think I will include that step on the last video. And it's also super easy. You just take scissors and cut out whatever designs you want and glue them straight onto the finished product. And you can decorate it in all sorts of ways with that. Generally what I do is I just do leather on leather and use the original color of leather so it has kind of a subdued effect, sometimes using like occult designs or quasi-occult designs like runes or stars or things like that. But of course it's all personal taste. Oh, okay, that's not where the glue goes, so just wipe it off. And edit that out. Too
bad we don't have an editing feed.
Okay.
We're shooting live and direct, so all the mistakes
That's also why this video is not going to be all in one piece, and why there's going to be like 3 parts to it maybe. Because we're not taking the time to edit these, we are just taking them directly and putting them up. So here's another one there. And of course, the more careful you are with all this, you get a slightly better result. And when you're doing these, if you weren't doing them for a demo, it would be best to get them glued and then lay a heavy weight on it in order to get it all to bond well and just be super solid. I'm not bothering with that because I can always go back and fix this stuff later if it's a little on the light side. But yeah, I do recommend weighing it after you glue it. Bit of glue, a little flipping. Now, a lot of people actually have asked me to make these wallets for them. And I have always not made these wallets for them because, first of all, it is so easy. And I would have trouble trying to price something that was so easy for me to make. Also, when you try to price something like this, it's like you're competing against people who are making wallets in his factory and paying slave wages. So if you're just making a run-of-the-mill wallet, which I more or less consider this, I mean, this is nothing amazing. I mean, it suits me very well. But if you're making just a standard sort of wallet, it's like, how do you compete with a factory and not look like you're gouging? But yeah, I mean, this is certainly something that people might be willing to pay for. So if anybody out there is doing crafts and you want to do something nice and simple
And if anybody wants David to make them one of these,
yeah, if somebody
please
wants me
write
to.
to David. They're very nice wallets. He can maybe even put some custom embellishments or something fun on there for you.
You know, that is true. I wasn't really pushing in that direction, but we can, in fact, make wallets.
We can, because you
yeah,
noticed.
Okay.
Remember, you noticed that there is no money in David's wallet.
That's true. Okay, so you got a good point there. This is why I keep her around. Okay, so I've taken the smaller inner version and I've glued a little strip of glue on there. And then we just take it and center it properly. And glue it like that.
And now you know why. Look at all those pockets. That's why people want this.
Well, you know, they do turn out nice. I mean, personally, I like the style, but then, you know, I'm the designer, so I'm somewhat biased, but I do get a lot of compliments on them. Okay, so if you didn't want to go any further, you have a wallet. You just have to wait for the glue to dry, and then you've essentially got the whole wallet assembled like that. It looks a little better, actually, once all the junk is in it, and I do pack this with a lot of junk. You can always do a slimmer one if you wanted to. So I will come back next time, and we will be doing the sewing kit, or maybe some other kit. We'll be adding the pen holder, and then we'll save the embellishments for the third video, and that should do it.
Now, do you reinforce that middle? Because I would be tempted to, like, stitch that up a little or something.
You know, I had always wondered how well this stuff will hold together, but the Jewel-It does an amazingly good job. And I've never found it to do any stitching whatsoever.
Nice.
So in literally, I don't know, like 15 minutes, maybe a little extra for the cutting and the layout, you can make yourself a wallet. So go to it, have fun, and I'll see you next time for part 2.